Today we'll see documentation, preparing the list of works cited as per MLA style. Already we were discussing selecting a topic, bibliography, format of the research paper, and some of the steps we have already discussed. And even this documentation is a big topic, so I segregated into part 1 and part 2. Today we'll see part 1, and in the next session we will see part 2. You see, so in documentation, in bibliography session itself, I told you there are three major types. One is MLA handbook, and another is Chicago manual style, and third one is APA style. Of course, we in India and English researchers generally we use MLA handbook. If you want to appear in video, you may put on. Thing is, you have to cooperate. You must not be walking here and there. So, particularly in the documentation of MLA handbook, we'll see some points today because only MLA handbook is prescribed to us. And the next that you see, look at the screen. Documenting sources, that is preparing the list of works cited. You cannot blindly state that I didn't refer anybody's work I did by myself. You can't tell like that because for any research or any research topic, there are producers. There are people who have done that. There are forerunners already who have done research on the same area. So first point itself, all research built on previous researchers. All research built on previous researchers. So all research, we cannot blindly state that I am the first one, and even it may be the first one, but we follow some predecessors. So all research builds on previous research. Researchers commonly begin a project by studying past work on their topics and deriving relevant information and ideas from their forerunners. So generally, we just go through internet and we check in the library and we look for the sources. Even our guide tells us the research scopes in our area and he teaches us some steps. So we derive ideas from forerunners, producers. And whenever you derive ideas, whenever you refer works, whenever you make a citation, a reference, you have to document it. You have to cite the source. So one must learn how to cite. Of course, in bibliography itself, I told you how to cite that author's name, last name first, and the title, then publisher, year of publication, one after another. But now you learn to cite within your text as per the MLA style. Within your citing within the text means citing in the pages itself. Citing in the pages itself. And learning to create works cited page means that is the last part of your thesis or project. There we write our works cited. That may be sources from print. Print means textbooks, books what we refer from the library. So we have to source, we have to cite those sources. Electronically, we can refer some sources. For example, you see, just I'll show you a page. This is a format of research paper. I just took some pictures from this format of the research paper. If you go to this page, you can see all the slides and pages, what all as per MLA handbook is given there. As per MLA handbook, they gave everything there, format of the research paper. You may just go and click that page and would see. So everything is available on the net. Everything is available on the net. So electronically, we can take sources. And today there is a website called Shotganga. Shotganga website, they put everything. All theses are published online in PDF format. There is another website, ProQuest. Of course, I'll type both the things on your screen. You may see at the end. In ProQuest also you can see. So it means any university, you need not go to that library. You may refer them on electronic, you may refer them through internet. And next one is media. Even media provides us much materials. Media provides us much materials. That may be any media. That may be any media. Not only the media means that not only newspaper and television, any kind of media that will provide us all sources. So refer MLA handbook for citing sources. This line is given. Of course, I may miss some one or two points because that list is going some 30 to 40 pages. If at all you get a doubt or anything, you can refer that page. That's the last point. So all research built on a previous research. Researchers derive ideas from their forerunners. Whenever you refer somebody's work, you have to document it because otherwise it will be plagiarism. And learn to cite, learn to write reference, learn to write citation as per MLA style. I'll teach you. Of course, I taught you, I'll teach you again. And learn to write works cited page. That may be print, electronic media, and any other source. Even any other source. And next one, why should I cite? Why should I reference? For example, if nowadays you see, even when we live in a period of pandemic, particularly in India, for fever means we know we have to eat paracetamol. If cold means for that there is Coldact or some other tablet. For pain means some painkiller. Everything we know what an MBBS doctor knows. He knows it. Why should I cite? It's like wearing somebody's shirt and walking on the road. And your neighbor or somebody, and then he sees it, he looks at you. Hey, it's my shirt, you are wearing it, and he will shout at you. I just put it to get dry and you have stolen it, he will shout at you. In the same way, when you steal ideas, when you use ideas without using the reference of the person, without using the citation of the person, you will be found. You will be found and they will shout at you. You may lose your degree and that will be counted as plagiarism. So compulsory, we have to cite a source. And you see, second point, citing recognizes and acknowledges the previous research used in a research paper or project. So when we cite a source, when we refer a source and when we use it in our reference, so automatically we are giving weightage to the author who told it, the person who told it first. So he gets that weightage, so he will also feel happy and he won't complain that you have used this work. So it is necessary that we must recognize and acknowledge the previous research. We must not think that we are so smart and commit mistakes. And second one, sir, what all should I source, what all should I cite? Whenever you draw another person's work, whenever you refer, whenever you use the research work of other person, you have to document your sources. That may be facts, opinions, or quotations. That may be facts. The sun rises in the east. We know it well. For that, we don't need any reference. But some facts we need to use. Opinions, we have to source them. Opinions, we have to source them. And quotations, direct quotations of persons, we have to use them. We have to cite them. We have to compulsorily, we have to cite. And if you don't cite a source, that is all, you are plagiarizing. Somehow you will be found. And you see that today they check before submitting. Today they check before submitting, and the computer itself shows how much percentage of plagiarism has been done in a thesis, so that if it exceeds the limit, simply they will discard your thesis, simply they would discard your project, simply they would discard your dissertation, so that you must learn how to source others' work. So if you don't cite a source, you are plagiarizing. That is a knowledge theft. You are stealing somebody's knowledge. You are stealing somebody's knowledge and showing as if it is yours. So we must not do that. And of course, you see this, we should cite, otherwise it is a plagiarism tip. And next one, you may do it unintentionally. That I didn't, even in exam hall, you turn this way or that way, examiner shouts at you, you say, I turned unintentionally, I just turned, I didn't ask that answer, I didn't ask this, that. But you may do it unintentionally. But whenever you cite, you provide key features of each source. Key features of each source you are providing. Surely you have to give reference of the person you cited with. When you use another researcher's idea, you should cite your source. Of course, I am repeatedly telling that. When a doubt comes, sir, should I cite this or not, sir? Because for the fever we eat paracetamol, why should I cite, sir? The sun rises in the east, earth is round, milk is white. What is there to cite, sir? That is no problem. Then there comes a doubt. When there comes a doubt whether it should be cited or need not be cited, you have to cite that, because you got a doubt. So automatically you have to cite the source. And you see, your guide, my guide used to tell always, you cite your source. So we have to cite. But for example, it is given in this like this. The person told is my guide, and maybe 12 is page number. 12 is page number. So this, so within the text we have to cite the source. And what is MLA handbook? What is MLA? Is it member of legislative assembly? No, no, no. It is Modern Language Association. It is Modern Language Association. MLA style is so flexible. It provides modular format. Modular means a model format for citing research sources. MLA style is used to cite scholarly manuscripts in humanities. So MLA means Modern Language Association. It provides a flexible style. It provides a flexible, easiest model format for citing researchers. It is like a Bible for humanity researchers like us. It's like a Bible, and we have to value it. It's like a Bible. It may be next to the Bible. And sir, how to cite and how to, I'll show you an example. You see what is MLA style we are seeing in, and it is the format, and it gives a modular format which we should use in our researches. When should I cite? Then in the top there is a small sentence. You look at the screen. You have to cite when you do some summarizing. You have to do cite when you are paraphrasing. You have to cite when you are using a direct quotation. You have to cite in on all this. When summarizing, how can I cite the same? For example, if you are writing something about the gravitation force. Gravitation force was discovered by Sir Isaac Newton. You are summarizing it. Since because you are summarizing in your words, it does not mean that is your idea. Because Sir Isaac Newton, he found it first an apple fall down from an apple tree, and he was thinking, why should it fall down, and why didn't it go up? And you see, he had that doubt. And then he found that the Earth has gravitation force and other planets do not have. So that is an idea by that person. If you are summarizing it, surely you have to cite the source. In paraphrasing, for example, just now we were teaching. We are teaching the Macbeth story to Macbeth drama to our second year students, and Antony and Cleopatra. Antony and Cleopatra story, if I am paraphrasing it into an essay or a meaningful some interpretation I am giving. Since because I am writing in my words, the story is not mine. Macbeth is not mine. Today we are washing the hands and again and again and again, as if the Macbeth had guilty and she was washing her hands throughout her life. Not, you see, we are washing today. Washing the hands, where does it come from? Shakespeare wrote it in Macbeth. That because of that guiltiness, he felt as if the stains of blood is in her hands, and she was trying to wash her hands continuously. She didn't get sleep. So that story you are paraphrasing, that is Shakespeare's story. Surely we have to give weightage to Shakespeare. So that weightage to be given. Many a times we are using the quotations directly from the authors. Direct quotations. You see, direct quotations we write with this double quotation. You look at the screen, I am underlining these quotation marks. With these quotation marks we are using. Even in direct and indirect we use that. No, it means that is told by a person. That's the meaning. When you put the quotation mark itself, that is told by a person. So we have to give weightage to that person. A scientist states, for example, I have given hydrogen is the lighter gas. This is written in within the double quotation. Within the double quotation. That means it is a scientific statement of some person. So this scientist may be Vel Murugan or Telagarsi or Sasigala. If that person, we have to use that name. We have to use that name and should give weightage to that person. We must not blindly. Hydrogen is the lightest gas. That maybe you are studying now, but it is a case which is well known in the field for 300 years. So innocently, you must not think I am writing only now. Elephant is the biggest animal. Now I write in my own pen. It is my sentence. No, no, no. That is a sentence which is there in the field some 300 years, 400 years, even before that. So we must not think that is ours. And we have to give weightage. So within the quotation or without quotation marks. Within the quotation or without quotation marks. That is next sentence. You look at the next one. A scientist states that hydrogen is the lightest gas. That may be in direct speech or indirect speech. Quotation is quotation of a person, and the discovery is discovery of a person, and invention is invention of a person. And we have to give weightage to that person, and we have to cite like this on the page itself. You have to cite like this on the page itself. I'll show you how to cite. And look at this. How can I cite my MLA in? How can I cite in MLA style? There are two parts actually. There are two parts. One is you are you are citing within the text, within the body of the essay, within the body of the text, within the body of a research paper. Next one, you are citing at the end of your thesis in the works cited page, in the works cited page. So there are two parts actually. One is on the page itself we have to cite. Another one we have to cite at the end of our work, or separately in the works cited page. Of course, I show you an example. And you see this one, notes, sources cited in the text must be seen in the works cited. For example, while writing in the page number 10, I had put a bracket and wrote as this is Prabhavati, page number 39. I wrote in page number 10 like that. Simply they will turn at the back side and will see whether that reference is put in the works cited list. And so if you are citing in the page number, that should be there also in works cited. And sometimes in works cited you have given a person's name. Probably page number 39 or some reference you have given. They will turn the pages and will see whether you have used it in the text. So you have to use and should refer it. For example, this is the how to cite inside the text. You see this first point we see brief in text citations in parentheses within the body or essay or research paper. You look at this. For example, this is a page. This is a research page in a thesis. It is written by Sunit. The right side there is name. No? There is the name. Maybe given by the researcher Sunit, and you see he has referred a person Rifkin. Is it Rifkin 2? Yes, given as Rifkin 2, page number 2. So if you are referring somebody's statement, somebody's research work, somebody's opinion, somebody's idea, somebody's any point, at the end of that point, you have to write like this in parentheses, in brackets. After that, you should put full stop. After that, you should put full stop. So this is the way we have to refer. Once you have referred him and given his name in the page here, this should appear at the end. This should appear at the end of your thesis in works cited. So you have to remember, many places you would have seen like this. that means it is reference. That means indeed that is reference. And here an hint is given. You look at that. MLA citation require author's last name and page number. Author's last name and page number. If it is Uma Parmeswaran Uma we write now. So author's last name first we are writing, and the last name is to be given here and the page number. So remember, and it should be there in your references. And next one, how should that reference page look like? Already in the bibliography session I had shown this. Now you see, this is the page number with look at the cursor on the screen. This is the page number and researcher's name. It means if you are the researcher, your name, the person who is doing the research. And this work's title itself should be typed after 1 inch. After 1 inch, soon after 1 inch. Left side you see 1 inch indent is given. Only 1 inch indent is given. It is started from the left margin. First your last name, first it is written. If you are reading it, Brent Hayes Edwards. That's how you should read. Last name is written first and first name written last. A full stop is kept and title is the work. Title of the work is given. Title of the work is given. Title of the work is italicized. You see, written in italics. You see. And in the second line, if at all, it may complete in one line itself. If it completes in one line, no problem. If there is a second line in reference, the second line should start after half inch, maybe one tab or 5 spaces. So second line you have to start after half inch, then should write. You see, he wrote as page numbers and then the work and publication details, year of publication and everything. And look at the second example. In the same way it started from the left margin, it goes up to the end. Second line and half inch from the first line. Half inch from the first line, then it is written. So you see title only, particularly that title is written in italics. The title is written in italics, last name is written first. And again you have to note, you see double space is given. Double space is given. It will look awkward as like while writing this and this, if we write in 1.5 inch or 1.15 or single line space, that will look nice, but actually you have to give 2 line space. Even though if only very few lines you will get in a page, there is no way we have to give. So read this, double space within and between entries. Within and between entries. So this title is to be started after 1 inch. This name may come after half inch. Generally in our researches we don't use this name. And from this left margin, from first inch it's 1 inch, you can start. And second line, from left margin maybe 1.5 inch, or from the first line it is half inch. So remember to use that. Remember to use that. Today only these 2 formats I wish to insist. Because I wish to insist today only 2 formats. One is in-text references. Referencing in text. Reference in the text must clearly point to specific sources in the list of works cited, like this example what we had seen in the refin. And if you have used in the text, that must be put in the works cited compulsory. There is no way. Look at this example. This is how you have to put your reference, your citation in the running page. And once you have referred the name in bracket like this, compulsorily it should be there in works cited. and in works cited, it should be typed like this. Should be typed like this. 2 line space. Start from the first line from 1 inch and second line is half-inch. Sir, is that all necessary, or keep on telling 1 inch, half-inch and all? Yes, that is all necessary. So you first thorough this and then come. Then next in the next session I will teach some other topics. For example, in a running page, if we are seeing, look at the slide number 11, this one. Provide information that will allow the reader to locate easily where you found the information in your sources. Your reader, the person who refers your work, the person, the future generation who will see your work, they should know that was used by some other researcher. We must not act as if it's our own. We must not do. And next one, put the parenthetical. Parenthetical mean brackets. Parenthetical reference at the end of the sentence before punctuation mark. I'll show you that. You see in the parenthetical mark is used before punctuation mark. Here, bracket is put, researcher's name, and the page number is given, close bracket. After that, full stop. After that, full stop. So learn to use like that. In next session, I will teach you the next thing. If you have any doubt on this, you may ask now, I will tell you.